With 3 games left to go in the regular season, South Carolina's backs will be up against the wall as much as it has been all season long. After a 30-14 loss to number 7 Ole Miss here in Oxford on Saturday night, the Gamecocks now need to win their next 3 games to have any chance of going bowling after the season. And it's going to be an uphill battle with games against a number 3 Texas A&M team at Kyle Field in 2 weeks. And then you get 2 home games to close out the year against Coastal Carolina and Clemson. Games that are more winnable, but it won't matter if the Gamecocks aren't able to take care of business in 2 weeks out in College Station. But we'll talk about that more in a little bit. But let's focus on the game at hand tonight. A lot of opportunities to make plays, just didn't make enough of them. Lenore Sellers kind of had a little bit of a rough go of it. He went 16 of 30 passing for 180 yards in this game with a touchdown and 2 picks, and got sacked 6 times tonight. But I think the thing that will probably get talked about most from this game is just the missed throws that he had. So many passes downfield that a quarterback like him, with the expectations and what everyone knows that he can do with his abilities, you expect him to be able to make the throws that he was just missing on tonight. But he only had 2 passes in this game that were, you could really consider explosive, where he had a pass go for 20 yards in this game, and then he had a pass go for 47 yards on a Nick Harbor touchdown to open the 3rd quarter. But besides that, really could not get it going through the air, and it was a struggle for him most of the night. And again, just plays where a receiver's open, whether it's a clean pocket or whether the pocket kind of collapsed, the plays were there, and Sellers just could not make enough of them. South Carolina couldn't run the ball in this game either. Rasul Faison was definitely the back that had the decent enough game with 52 yards on the ground. But besides that, South Carolina really couldn't run the ball. And then you look on the other side. Ole Miss just ran the ball really, really well tonight against this Gamecock defense. 258 yards on the ground, over 400 yards total in this game. This is a really good Rebel offense, and I think we saw why that is tonight here on full display. And give South Carolina credit. They were able to keep this game close most of the night. Only a 6-point game going into the 4th quarter, but time and time again, when the clutch plays need to be made, when there's opportunities for the Gamecocks to pull ahead and just propel themselves to victory, do the things that it takes to get the win when it's all said and done, it's just not happening. And we saw that again tonight, where there were just some moments late in the game where South Carolina turns it over on downs on Sellers' 6th sack of the night. And then on the next play, Kawan Lacey runs into the end zone on a 54-yard touchdown. And that made it 30-14, and that essentially sealed the deal on the night with about 5 minutes left to go. So where does South Carolina go from here, I think, is the next question. Well, 3-6 on the year, 1-6 in conference play, 1 more SEC game left to go on the slate. A very disappointing season so far, just overall, obviously. But in SEC play, this has really been a rough stretch. And besides Kentucky, South Carolina's done really next to nothing against quality competition this season, especially when they're facing conference teams. They have had some close battles. This game was close tonight in the 4th quarter. The LSU game was pretty close going into the 4th quarter. Missouri, you had the lead. Alabama, you had the lead. But time and time again, as I said before, just not able to finish. And somehow, some way, South Carolina is going to have to find a way to win these next 3 games. Otherwise, they're not only going to finish under 500 for the 2nd time in 3 years, but they'll also miss a bowl game for the 2nd time in 3 years under Shane Beamer. And I think we all knew this season was going to be a little bit of a step back, just considering all the talent that was lost. But don't get it twisted. I think South Carolina still has a ton of talent on this team. It's just not clicking. And you are what you are at this point in the year. It's November now. This is just who South Carolina is. And I don't think many are expecting them to go out here on the road in 2 weeks and pick up what would be a signature, massive win over a Texas A&M team that you've never beaten at Kyle Field. So the odds are not going to be in their favor, and it's no guarantee that they win the final 2 games of the year either against Coastal Carolina, and Clemson should be able to beat Coastal, but Clemson, that game's always a toss-up with the way both teams are playing. But for the mood in the locker room is definitely down right now. I'm just talking to Shane Beamer and talking to players, but they're definitely still trying to get to a bowl game, trying to make sure that they close out this season on a high note. But as I said at the beginning of this video, it's definitely going to be an uphill battle to get there without question, and that starts here in 2 weeks. So the Gamecocks will be off this upcoming week. Will not have a game up next Saturday, but then they will travel to College Station for their final road game of the regular season when they go face, like I said, number 3 Texas A&M at Kyle Field. No official kickoff time announced yet, but that game should kick off sometime between 12 and 1 p.m. A finalized kickoff time should be announced sometime Monday afternoon, and we'll have that on Gamecock Central, that information right there for you. So once again, the Gamecocks suffer a 30-14 loss to Ole Miss here at Vaught-Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. For GamecockCentral.com, I'm Jack Veltri.